What's up guys, Tage Proto here, doing a 4.2 Retribution Paladin guide. Gonna go over pretty much everything. We'll just go ahead and jump right in, start with the talents. You're gonna go 7 to 32. Pretty standard, hasn't really changed since 4.1 or before that, I think, at 4.0. Glyphs, primes are Templar's Verdict, Exorcism, Seal of Truth. Your majors are gonna be Ascetic Crusader, Rebuke, and Hammer of Wrath. These you can kinda swap out for something else, but I like the mana reduction, especially now. Your minors, kings, might, Seal of Truth. I would recommend swap out kings if you have it for Seal of Righteousness. Seal of Righteousness is now our big AoE seal. Seal swapping between truth and righteousness on AoE fights or fights that have ads gets very mana intensive, so I definitely recommend that. As far as gear stats go, strength is above everything, followed by hit. You need to be hit capped, which is 8%. I'm at 7.94. After that it's mastery, then crit, and then haste being our worst stat. Reforging, everything is going to be reforged to hit until you're capped. After that everything goes into mastery. Haste gets reforged to mastery. Expertise, if you're over cap with the Seal of Truth, is going to get reforged to mastery, excuse me. Crit can be left alone on certain items depending on what other stats you're looking at, but also sometimes crit gets reforged to mastery. So as far as gemming goes, all your gems are going to be straight strength unless the socket bonus is 30 strength. Reason being, strength is so ridiculously far ahead of any other stat that we would want. I believe I have strength in every slot that I have available, with the exception of my helm. Free 30 strength from the bonus, so we get 50 strength total on that, and the free 20 mastery. So enchanting, anything with strength, some crit. I think I have mastery in my boots, but pretty standard. DPS plate enchants. Also recommend getting into Fire Lanes if you haven't yet. Getting to Honored with Avengers of Hyjal took about 2.5–3 days, and I was pretty lazy, to be honest. You could probably do it faster than that, especially if you run with people you know. At Friendly you can get the 378 Cloak, which is excellent, except for the haste. I hate the haste on it, but just reforge it out. And then you get the belt at Honored. Might also get lucky enough. I was lucky enough to get the Apparatus of Khaz'goroth, the trinket, out of there, which is 383 strength right off the bat, and a pretty sick on usability. Stacks up to 5 times, you pop it, adds a huge amount of mastery for 15 seconds, I believe. As far as my add-ons go, I'll just knock that out real quick. At the top here I have CLC Ret. This is the push the biggest shiniest button for your rotation. I use this to help out since I raid lead as well. I'm watching a whole lot of things at once. My own rotation is bottom of the list, so this helps out. I have Pitbull here for my unit frames and buffs up here. I have Forte Exorcist here to show cooldowns, things like that. Bartender down here for action bars. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I have Skada for DPS recount. I'm not a fan of it. It's memory hog, screws with other add-ons, etc. So I use Skada. And we'll just go ahead and get right into the rotation here. Basically your big cooldowns are Guardian of Ancient Kings, which you will pop right off the bat. You're going to wait for that to stack to 10 or get to 20 seconds, and then you will pop Avenging Wrath, which is your wings. Then as soon as that's popped, you're going to wait till you have 3 Holy Power and use Zealotry. Some people argue that you want to wait till Avenging Wrath is over to use Zealotry. It's actually incorrect. Even with the free Hammers of Wrath, you'll be missing because of Avenging Wrath. A 3 Holy Power Templar's Verdict after every Crusader strike from Zealotry with the 20% buff from Wings is more DPS than just the free Hammers of Wrath from Avenging Wrath. I explained that the really backwards way, but it's worth it to have this up while Avenging Wrath is up. I will throw out a warning that if you burst like that, your threat is going to skyrocket. It's actually it's a huge problem in my opinion. when I'm with my guild, or when you're with your guild doing raids and whatnot, usually not worried about threat and things like that. But whenever I'm with the pug or in a dungeon, etc., your burst is just too high. You'll pull threat, I guarantee it. And our only thing for that is Hand of Salvation, which in my opinion is absolute trash. It will not save you. If you're knocking out, Templar's Verdicts over and over again from Zealotry with your wings up, you're just going to skyrocket. Excuse me. So yeah, pretty much it's a priority-based system, like pretty much everything else. It's kind of proc heavy. Just remember, 3 Holy Power, Inquisition rather, takes top priority, followed by Templar's Verdict. Always, always, always keep Inquisition up. It's tempting to just Templar's Verdict every 3 Holy Power, but throughout the course of the fight, Inquisition really ups your damage and brings a huge amount of DPS. So we'll just go ahead and go into the rotation here. Let me just get my food buff. I have Flask and food up, so and of course Might. And Seal of Truth is for all single target fights, things like that. Your Seal of Righteousness will be for AoE situations, 4 targets or more specifically. You're going to Divine Storm, Holy Wrath, and Consecration. Your Divine Storm is going to just rape with Seal of Righteousness being thrown out on every target. It's a huge, huge amount of AoE. But again, the mana gets intensive, so don't forget that 3rd glyph, minor glyph for Seal of Righteousness to help out with that. Alright, so I'm just going to go through it here. I'm going to start with Judgment, and then Guardian of Ancient Kings, wait 10 seconds until it's at 10 stacks, pop my Avenging Wrath, 3 Holy Power Zealotry. I'm going to throw my Trinket in there as well. Yeah, and then just go through the rotation. There's 10 stacks, so I'm going to pop my Muse, wait for my 3 Holy Power, pop Zealotry, and pop my Trinket. And like I said, the threat with all this going is just unbelievably high. So again, Art of War procs, you always want to be Exorcism when that happens. Just don't forget, Templar's Verdict and Inquisition are a priority overall, especially Inquisition. As you'll notice, with crit being a secondary stat for us, there's not a whole lot of crits going on. That's just because of how good Mastery is. So, don't get nervous or say, oh, my crits aren't happening or whatever. It's going to be like that. And you're pretty much going to stick with this rotation until your cooldowns come back up. Cycle through those in the fight, depending on when your guild uses heroes and for which encounters, etc., things like that. I usually don't have an issue if I use them all at the start of an encounter. I usually have them up by the burn phase, so with the exception of Guardian of Ancient Kings, it's all about I burst up to about 27, sustaining here at about 17.5 to 18, with my big cooldowns about to come back up, so there's my wings again. Wait for 3 Holy Power again, pop my Zealotry, and just kind of go back through the whole beginning again. Pop my Trinket as well. That's still recharging. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the essentials for the Retribution Paladin at 4.2. My favorite class. Really strong DPS right now. Brings a lot of utility to a raid as well. So, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. I'll do some more raids as well. So. Take care and enjoy your Retribution Paladin in 4.2.